Okay, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I don't know when are you going to hear this, but my name, as you can see, Teacher Juan Pablo here, and I am recording this video for you as a class. This is the science class. I'm going to teach you a basic topic, which is the cell. I am doing this video, I'm recording this video because most of you might not use Skype. I'm not going to do the video call with me. So I thought about you and I'm going to upload this video on YouTube. So in case you haven't had the chance to go to my class online, I'm going to teach the topic. If you have any questions, write to me on videos. I'm going to send this link of videos for the ones who haven't being on the conference. Okay. Now, I am going to explain the topic, and at the end of the video, I'm going to explain the workshop as well, because you need to know how the workshop is going to be done. So let's go with the topic. As you can see, today's topic is going to be the cell. So main question: what is the cell? Maybe you don't know, like teacher. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? But I am going to explain you the cell. This is something that we have inside our bodies. We are made of cells as living things. So one of the concepts of the cell is facts about the cell. Number one, cells are the basic unit of structure and function in living things. It means if I am alive, it means that I have cells. The cells are the ones that help us in everything. When we about the blood, in the way we breathe, in the way we eat. Our mechanism is made of cells. Everything. You might not see it because they are too tiny to be seen as the human eye. The human eye that is normal. That's why we use a microscope, which is something that you basically have if you are a scientist or you have seen in the laboratory on your school. Second point, the structure of living things is determined by how the cells are arranged. Arranged means the structure. How many cells do we have? Maybe you don't know, there are some organisms that they have one cell and other ones who has more than two cells, like trillions or millions, a lot, more than the human civilization. Let's go to the next one. Facts about the cell. All organisms are made up of one or more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 millions, trillions, whatever you want to say. They are made of one or more cells and the products for those cells. As you can see on the video here, there is a GIF. You can see the cell is divided and divided and divided and divided as well. That's what happens to our cells. We have cells. We are not composed of one cell, we're composed of a lot of cells. So as you can see on the GIF, basically it's like a process of division. One of the main characteristics about the cells is that it can divide by itself. I'm not going to talk about the process because it's on another topic, but the main idea of the cell is that it's capable of divide, and instead of one, we have two cells, and then those ones are going to divide, and we have a lot more. Think about the cell as a brick. A brick. Do you know what is a brick? A ladrillo. A brick. We have one brick, but the cell is going to divide in two bricks, and then three bricks, four bricks, five bricks, and we are going to have a wall. That wall is made of cells. So it means that this skin, my body, is made of cells, a lot of cells. There are millions of cells inside. Another fact about the cell is that they use energy for our life processes. For example, to grow, for us, when we are kids, when I was a kid, I was really small, so I went growing up. And when I grow up, it means that I have more cells. Let's suppose, I am 10 years old, okay? And now that I have 10 years old, let's suppose that I have 10 million cells. I am made of 10 million cells. And when I grow up, let's suppose that I grow 5 years later and I have 15 years old. I'm not going to have 10 million cells, I'm going to have 15 million cells. I'm going to have more, and that's why I'm getting bigger. Okay? So it means if you are small, it's not because you're small, it's because you don't have enough cells to get bigger. Okay, it's just joking. Okay. Cells use energy for our life processes. For example, cells use energy to repair other cells. It's like when you are walking and you fell down and you have a scratch. You're like, ah, and your mother comes, oh sweet, I'm sorry, sana sana go eat there, right? It's like that kind of stuff. So a cell helps the other cells to get better. It's like a medic or a nurse. It's like a doctor. Okay. We need cells to digest the food, to sleep, to see, even to feel, to touch. Whatever action we can do, we need cells. And cells use energy. Now you're going to ask, but how do we get the energy from the cells? Basically, by eating. So this has a lot to do with your blood. I mean, maybe a medic told you that if you eat, you will have more blood. It's because you produce energy with the meat, with the food. So sometimes you're going to feel tired, and the most of the reasons that you are going to be tired is because your cells doesn't have energy. And sometimes you are going to need energy by sleeping or eating. Okay, that's why I put a battery there. It's like a cell phone. Every time you don't have energy, you have to charge again. Let's go. Organisms. Organisms are an individual animal, okay, plant, or a single-celled life form. A single cell, it means it's a cell that is just one, only one. It's alone, forever alone. Okay? So organisms are the ones who are alive, basically. We're talking about animals, we're talking about plants, we're going to talk about cells as well. Bacteria, if we want to say that so. We have 6 characteristics of living things. Here I'm going to give you 4 and I'm going to mention 2 more. Okay? I haven't added here. Now, 1, they use energy, as you can see. 2, they grow and develop. 3, they reproduce. They die. They die also. That's why they are living things. I don't know if you know this, but basically what we can do as humans, that we born as a babies, we're babies. Now we grow up, develop, we become bigger. Then we reproduce, we have more kids, and then we are going to die. It's normal. It's the life process. And that life process is going to keep with the animals, it's going to do, has to be with the humans, it has to be with the cells. It's going to happen to everyone. That's why cells are living things. It means they live. They don't think, but they live. I mean, it's not necessary to think. Now, the other 2 are chemical composition. Chemical composition. I'm going to add it here. Chemical means that we are going to have the same structure, okay, the same components. I'm going to write here components, same components. So it means that all the structures from all living beings are going to be the same. Sometimes in animals are going to be the same, but are going to be different in plants. I'm going to tell you that later. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, we are surrounded. We react, I'm sorry, we react to our surroundings. To put here context. Means as animals or humans, if you want to say, we react to our surroundings. Mean we are going to act, we are going to evolutionate, evolve, basically. We are going to act by the context. It means that I am reacting to my atmosphere, what I have, my wall, the door, whatever you want. That's basically how it works about a living thing. It means that I'm going to move from one place to another place and I am going to adapt from place A to place B. I'm going to adapt. It's when you travel. Let's suppose that you're going to move to, I don't know, Bogota. So you're used to be here and you go to Bogota, so you're going to adapt. You're going to adapt. Adapt means adaptarse. That's what it means. Now, let's go with the cellular organization. Let's go from the cell number from the right, as you can see here. I am going to start here because this is like the first unit of everything. So, let's going to do here. It's better for you to understand organism. For example, this is a human, this is a man. It can be an animal, a cat, a dog, a plant even, if you want. So, we have a man here, and we have a house. We have a complete house, okay? A full house. Now, we are going to organ system, like our heart, our lungs, respiratory system, digestive system, whatever you want. All the systems, all the organs. We have our brain, our eyes, whatever. As you can see, we don't have the full house here, but we have like a semi-complete house. We don't have the ceiling. The ceiling is left. I guess you're trying to understand what I'm trying to explain. Now we get to a next specific organ, okay? We are not going to talk about the systems, but we are going to talk about organs in specific. Let's suppose in organ system we were talking about the respiratory system. So it means that here in the organs we are not going to talk about the respiratory system, but we are going to talk about the lungs. The lungs. Los pulmones. Okay? So as you can see in the structure, we don't have a ceiling anymore. We only have the base of the house. I guess you're understanding what I'm trying to explain. Now we go into the tissue. Do you know what is tissue? I'm going to be like Dora. Do you know what is tissue? So I'm going to spend here 5 minutes waiting. Oh yes, the tissue is this and this and this. The tissue in Spanish means tejidos. So it means that this is one of the tissues. There's basically skin, but inside the skin we have muscles, and inside the muscles we have bones, and inside the bones we have another small structures. So it means it's like we have like clothes, como ropa. So we have one tissue, then we have the tissues from the muscles. We can have the tissues from the grass, la grasa. We're going to have the tissues from the skin. We're going to have the tissues from the hair, and that's how we are going to have all the structures. It's like peeling an onion, una cebolla, como pelar una cebolla. So you're going to see the the several caps of the same that compels everything. Here in the house, we don't have now the base. We have like a quarter of the base we had before, and finally we're going to have the cell, which is the smallest thing on the human body, on the animal bodies, on the plant structures. So basically, this cell, I'm going to zoom up. It is tiny thing you see here. This like 3 Legos. This is basically the structure of everything. The cell is the basic unit, the one. Okay, so let's suppose this is 1, this is 10, this is going to be 100, this is going to be 100, 1,000 or 10,000, if you want to say that so. And here you're going to have 1 million. So the structure is clear. Okay, I'm going to check if I am still recording. Yes, I'm still recording. And now I'm going to move here to the 2 types of organisms. I have 2 types. We have 2 types of organisms. We have unicellular, means one. Uni means one cell. So it means that unicellular organisms are organisms that has only 1 cell. The ones who have 1 cell, as the amoeba. Amoeba is like a gelatin. Okay, it's more like a gelatin. The paramecium is something that you can see from the mushrooms. Mushrooms means almost. The bacteria, I guess you know what is bacteria. Bacteria is the ones you have on the everything. Actually, we are made of bacteria. Even my hand has a lot of bacteria, millions of bacteria. And the yeast, this is from the plants. Okay. Unicellular, 1 cell. Multicellular, 2 cells or more, millions and millions. So we have unicellular. Now we're going to the multicellular. That is the ones we are. Basically, we are multicellular because we are going to have a lot of cells to build this structure. Remember that the cells are like bricks, so you have to use a lot of them so you can have a building. Okay, so animals, plants, and even humans has millions and millions of cells. Let's go quickly here. Organisms that use food as the source of energy. It means, remember that the cell uses energy to keep alive, to don't die, you know. We have 2 types of organisms. Autotrophs, as you can see, autotrophs, like this. Here, give me a moment. A little kid we have here. Autotrophs, these ones. Basically, autotrophs are the ones who are going to make their own food. It means they don't need to eat. They have their own food inside their bodies. That's why you see a plant. Remember this? This is from Plants vs. Zombies. So the plants, like this one, the sunflower, throws suns, and you know that the plants need suns to grow. Photosynthesis, basically. And the second one, we have heterotrophs. In Spanish is heterótrofos. Autótrofos, heterótrofos. These ones are not like the plants, so it means they need food to eat. As you can see, we see a cat here. The cat is eating pasta, so basically the cat needs food to have energy. That's how it works. Okay. Now, inside of organisms, we are going to talk about the cells as well. We are going to have 2 types of cells. You are going to have the prokaryotic cells, and you're going to have the eukaryotic cells. The prokaryotic cells are, it's a simple cell, it's small, it looks like a, I don't know, like a mouse. Let's suppose we have a mouse because you have a tail there in the back. It's a simple small cell with no nucleus. Nucleus is like the brain of the cell. Let's suppose that our brain is the nucleus of everything. We are going to still moving, we are going to still doing everything, but we are not going to process the information as we normally do. So basically, a cell without nucleus is a prokaryotic cell. Organisms that are made from prokaryotic cells are very small, such as bacteria. Bacteria is basically a prokaryotic cell because it doesn't have a nucleus. Eukaryotic cells are completely different. As you can see, it's like a I don't know, like a peeled potato, una papa rellena. As you can see, the blue part is the nucleus actually. These cells are typically a lot bigger than these ones, like the prokaryotic cells, are bigger than these ones, the prokaryotic cells. And they have a defined cell nucleus, which houses the cell DNA. DNA is the one who basically is like the main structure for everything. The DNA is, in Spanish, that we know ADN. It's something that I don't want to get too much information from because you're going to fill with a lot of information, but DNA is like, you see the cell, inside the cell you're going to see the DNA. So basically the DNA is much smaller than the cell. You can see these type of cells on vegetables or plants, if you want to say that, so, or animals. Okay, but don't think that this is going to be as easy as you think. The cells, the eukaryotic cells, is divided into two more cells. One of the cells is the vegetal cells. Okay? These vegetal cells has a nucleus. This is the nucleus here. It's like a battery. A cell membrane. Cell membrane is like the cover like the skin, the cytoplasm, and the mitochondria too. If you go here in animal cells, so you can understand this better. The cytoplasm. The cytoplasm in the animal cells is basically like a jelly-like substance. It's like a gelatin, okay, gelatin, where the chemical reactions happen. It's like if you are making a gelatin, you are going to have everything inside the gelatin. Let's suppose that you put fruits on the gelatin. The fruits are going to stay like that. That's what happens to the cells. They're going to have chemical reactions inside the cells in order to not going around over there. And the mitochondria is where energy is released from the food molecules. Let's suppose that is the battery of the cell. Let's go here on cytoplasm mitochondria, but they also contain the following structure: cell wall. So I told you to is how layer means capa. That basically is like the skin. It's like a helmet. It's like a helmet. Back wall, space inside the cell that is used to store substances and help the cell keep its shape. It means you see that it has like a geometric form. Is because of the back wall. It makes you be like that. It's like grabbing the cell with your hands, so the thing is not going to go out everywhere like slime. So if you grab it here, the slime is not going to come. The chloroplasts structures that contain the green pigment, chlorophyll, the one you see from the vegetables. As you can see, the plant has a green aspect. It's from the chloroplast. They are the ones who put the ink, the paint. Now let's go into the animal cells. As you can see, we have a difference, a visual difference. Here is like geometric, and here is like a gelatin. It doesn't have a geometric form, but it has like a spherical form. They have irregular structure, and they are made of 4 key parts. One, the nucleus. It has a DNA. Okay, here you can see the DNA of the nucleus and controls the cell's activity. Basically, that's the brain of the cell. 2, the cell membrane, a flexible layer that surrounds the cells and controls the substances that enter and exist. The cell membrane is like the ones on the frontier, the police that is going to tell you, okay, you can get in, no, you're going out. This is what it works, the cell membrane. The cell membrane is like Let's suppose it's like a door, and the door lets you get in, or it doesn't let you get in, just go out. It's like this. The cytoplasm, as I told you, is a jelly substance that keeps everything together. And the mitochondria is where the RNA is released, the battery as well. So, I guess this is going to be it. I'm going to explain the activity. Maybe I got too far, and maybe I got too fast. But now, as I am recording, we have like 20 minutes now. I hope that the questions you have, you're going to send me that on video, so I'm going to explain the activity quickly. You are going to watch a video. The name of the video is The Wacky Story of the Cell Theory. Okay? The wacky story of the cell theory. This is the history of the cell. You're going to watch the history of the cell. I'm going to give you the link on videos, and in the workshop you're going to see the link also. You are going to answer some questions from the workshop. I'm going to show you the workshop. This is the workshop. What you're going to see here, this is the link. You're going to follow these questions. In point number 1, you're going to match the letters A, C, A, B, and C to the squares below, square 1, square 2, and square 3, to the statements of the cell theory. You are going to see these statements on the video. And according to the images, you are going to move, and you're going to put the, for example, this is A. This is an example. Right. I'm going to send you this as a Word document, so you don't have to print and write. You just have to fill the information. The second one is, why is the reason that Hook is an important character in the story of the cell? Create the name the cell. Why? You're going to see that on the video. Why Anton van, you know how it is, call them animalcules. It's going to see that too on the video. Question number 3. Who were the creators of the cell theory? You're going to see that on the video also. And point number 4 is according to this class mostly. According to the class and based on the internet research, fill in the information below according to the comparaciones between the animal and vegetable cells, so as the similarities, diferencias, relaciones. Differences, similarities between the animal and the vegetable cell. Basically, that's going to be the workshop. Okay. Now let me see how much do we have. We have 27 minutes now. Half an hour watching this. You are going to solve that document on Word. You're going to do that on Word. I'm going to send you that on PDF, and you're going to send me that back. You don't have to print. If you cannot do it on videos because the problem, you know, that is the problem about the servers and stuff, you can send me that on my Gmail account. I'm going to send you that also. The deadline, March 25. I need you to do it from tomorrow. Maybe if you have any problems on the internet, let me know so you can have more time. I can give you the time all the day. You can have Friday or Saturday if you want. The workshop must have everything I asked on the activity mission selection. I mean, you have to fill everything. The workshop must have your name on it. For example, if you're going to send me that, you're going to write Science Class Pepito Pérez. That's the name of the document. You are going to send me that, put the name. Remember, it's a Word document. Don't print. Don't send me that like a message. Only if you have problems with PDFs, obviously, but that's why you have my Gmail account. Don't send me that on PDF, send me that on Word, okay? And you have to print or write the class. This slides, power presentation, you're going to have that. I'm going to send you that. You're going to print it or you're going to write it on the notebooks, okay? But the most important part is the workshop. I need you to give me the workshop. I'm going to check your notebooks when we come back to school, okay? So basically that's going to be it. I hope you don't have any questions. I hope you have understand everything. If you have any questions, please write to me on Phidias. I'm going to send you additional links so you can research in your homes. And that's it. I'm going to upload this video on YouTube and I'm going to tell you. Okay. So guys, thank you very much. See you.